Hey guys, what's up? It's Hijabi Reviews here. I just want to let you know that this video that I'm about to talk about, during this video that I'm going to talk about carbon monoxide. So, if you have stories related to that are triggering, I would advise you to click off this video now because this video pertains to mostly adults in terms of what I'm about to talk about. So, one question I want to ask is, do you check your detectors at all? Do you test them? Do you know when to change the batteries? Do you know how to change the batteries? Do you know if your detector is even working or not? Well, those are all important factors to know, especially this time of year, because October is Fire Safety and Carbon Monoxide Safety Month. All combined into one. So it's not just one or the other, it's both. So when you're dealing with things like carbon monoxide, you want to make sure that if you do notice that, or you think your detector is dead, try to unplug it from the wall and look at what type of batteries the unit takes. Once you determine what type of batteries, whether it's AAA, AA, or just straight 9-volt, make sure to properly read the instructions given with the manual, or or if you're not able to read the instructions there, try to look on the back of the unit to connect the puzzle pieces there, and or you can go on YouTube or Google and look it up, depending on, you need the model number, but if you can't find the model number, usually all that's needed, hopefully, is just a battery change. But if you do notice that the unit hasn't really been blinking green, it should blink. Most things that are there should blink green if they have a light with them, and most units do have lights. It's no longer just the unit itself, they have lights. If you notice that your unit has a green light, that means it's all good to go, but that doesn't end there. You also have to test the unit at least once a month to make sure it's actually working, because if you don't do that, it's a big no-no. It's an added safety step to keep you and your family safe. I'm no expert on carbon monoxide myself. I'm still learning a lot of stuff given my age and how young I am, but I'm old enough to be, I'm an adult, but I'm old enough to the point where it's not acceptable anymore not to know about these things, because you need to educate yourself and learn when, how, and why carbon monoxide can get into a home and what you can do to keep your family safe. One of the things that people might not think about are carbon monoxide, that most people might not think about, is a generator or a car. And when I say most people, I mean people who don't even know the first thing about carbon monoxide. The majority of the public has already been educated on this, and I just want to put my story out there. Well, not my story. Put my take out there on what carbon monoxide is and what you can do to help yourself. So carbon monoxide can be triggered by a couple of different units. Your water heater, your furnace, a gas range stove with either kerosene or whatever. Any unit that uses any type of gas is usually susceptible to possible carbon monoxide leakage if it's not cared for properly. So your water heaters connectors, your gas line connectors have to be hooked up properly. All your fittings and connections need to be hooked up properly so that gas doesn't leak out and it goes to the outside home. Make sure your pipes, there are some older models of gas water heaters that have flue vent pipes. I'm sure you know what they look like. If not, look it up. They're on top of the water heater itself with a little vent hood. If that's not hooked up properly because you have an older model of a water heater, then you might be susceptible to carbon monoxide. So make sure. Oh, and in furnaces, there's something called a heat exchanger. Take note of this. If the heat exchanger has a huge crack inside of it, that is also susceptible to getting to the outside air and leaking carbon monoxide while the unit is constantly running, or if it's on a timer, it doesn't matter. Depending on how many hours a day your units run and how much, just how much they're running in general. Sorry, I'm making this video really late at night, so I'm a little tired. And it's the end of the week after midterms, so yeah. Just make sure that you know how to, if you do, sorry, excuse me. If your detectors are going off and you're hearing at least 4 beeps, I would advise you to get outside, and call 911 from a neighbor's house. Or if you already have your cell phone on you because you had it on you all day, get outside with your family and take your cell phone and immediately call 911. What that'll do for you is just request firefighters to come out to your house. Just say, the operator will say, we all know this, the operator will pick up and say, hi 911, what is your emergency? Then you're going to respond with your address, and that your concern, which is your carbon monoxide detector going off. And then they should send the fire department out. And if they give you a hard time about it, make sure you know who to go to complain about that. Don't ever let 911 don't ever let an operator intimidate you into thinking your situation isn't real, or that they don't want to send units out to respond, because that's not fair. So make sure you know how to advocate for you and your family. Carbon monoxide is very dangerous, and if you don't get a detector, or if you don't have a working detector, you could end up sleeping forever. So make sure you can change the batteries. There are several here in Canada. I don't know about any other parts of the world, about maybe USA. There are several home hardware stores like Rona, Lowe's, Home Depot, Canadian Tire. All those people should have, if you need to go replace your unit, I'm probably going to replace mine soon. You should go to one of those people. If you live in Canada or Northern Canada, you need to go to one of those people and ask, or any of your local hardware shops. Home Hardware, I think I mentioned that too. Yeah, you should go to them and ask, do you have a dual carbon monoxide and fire detector? Those are usually work best, more than just photoelectric and all that stuff on its own, because it can detect both, saving you money in the long run, so that you don't have to buy separate units. Carbon monoxide is no joke, so you guys have to take it seriously, or else you could end up in a dangerous situation. This is especially important if you live in apartments. Make sure that you know how to get out of your apartment and call 911. If you don't have, you obviously probably don't have time to wake up all your neighbors and stuff like that. So get your dogs out, get your cats out, get your family out. Just run. Just completely run downstairs and wait for the firefighters, because they will come in and do their job and evacuate the building, because that's their job. It's your job to get you and yourself and your family outside immediately as soon as you hear 1 or 4 beeps. Don't ever ignore it, okay? Hope this is helpful to you guys. Okay, see you.